Tommy.
Brian.
Finally.
Yes. How are you?
Very good, very good. How's it going today?
It's going very well, thank you. I slept in late and I got plenty of rest. Good.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
So, Tommi Gallo, former drummer for Spread Eagle, and now you got I guess a new project, or you just goof around at home or whatever. I was watching some of the videos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm playing with some friends, and everybody has a different chemistry. So what I get out of them and what they get out of me is totally different. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking all the elements that I do like and saying, okay, we can do that, we can do this. And so yeah, I'm playing with a bunch of people, but I'm having a lot of fun. Yeah.
Now, let's go back to, I guess, the early days of Iron Rage and Bang. Tell me a little bit about you when you first started, and you know, a little bit about the past.
Okay, yeah. I first started with a guy named John Williams. We went to school together, and he got his first guitar, and he started playing through a reel-to-reel, and he got like an A and an E and a G chord, and I said, if you turn those around, you get AC/DC, TNT, or if you turn them around again, you get another AC/DC song, and all he needed was 3 chords, and we were off, and him and I formed Iron Rage, and that was cool. That was kind of like a power trio, almost like a Cream type thing, and that was neat. And then I said, okay, I'm moving up to Boston. I met some guys because I used to go to Heavy Metal Night over in Boston at a place called Narcissus Celebrations. It was the heavy metal night place, and I met some guys there, and they said I could crash on their kitchen until I got my tax returns. And then when I got my tax returns, I got a place, and next thing you know, I meet Paul DiBartolo. Right. And he's putting together a band called Bang. And I sat with him for a little while, and he introduced me to the rest of the band. And we hit it off really well. Bang was a band with gigs already. They had a following, and I just jumped right in. It was amazing. Next thing you know, we're like the most popular band in Boston, maybe next to Extreme. Right. And that really took off. That really took off, and we did really well. We won like an MTV. I think the show was called Basement Tapes. We won Best Video. Yeah, for a song called Summertime, which was a really big hit around here. Oh. Yeah, and that went really well. But that band ran its course, and then next thing you know, the instrumentalists in the band, we moved to New York. We followed Paul, and we found Ray, and that's where Spread Eagle started.
Well, what all you guys get together? How do you all get together?
Oh, Spread Eagle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was pretty much down in a basement that was a basement/studio that was owned by Paul's landlord at the time, Charlie Gambetta, and he became our manager. Right. And so we started playing down in here. Next thing you know, record companies, A&R people are coming to check us out, and it was really cool. And it was really authentic too, because it was just in the basement.
Right,
yeah, that works well with the whole Broken City scene.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I remember we're playing for some A&R people, and one of them happened to be a woman who found us extremely offensive, but she said, we have to sign you.
Good, finally.
Yeah. Exactly. And that went well with the whole Spread Eagle thing, you know. That name got some attention, as we predicted.
Right, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that name kind of said what we were about at the time. So it really felt right. It really felt right.
How the whole New York gutter rock scene, you know, everything I read about you, oh yeah, New York City gutter rock or, you know, whatever rock he is, how'd that latch on to you guys?
How did it latch on? I think it was our overall approach.
Right.
You know, it was, I remember Lane Staley.
Right.
Lane Staley from Alice in Chains came up to us when we were out in California at a thing called Concrete Foundations Forum. It was an industry put on by Concrete, which was kind of like an artist development company. Right. And Lane Staley comes to us and he goes, I love you guys. You guys do whatever you want to.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I said, wow, that's really good. He said it through his tortoiseshell glasses. I remember that very well.
Right.
Yeah. So that was neat because it was neat because we were all around these bands that were all up and coming along with us, and they were all saying, I wish we could do what you guys did, but our so-and-so, our manager, won't let us do this or do that, and I just felt like, wow, this is really nice to be a part of something where everybody is slightly envious.
Right, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So how'd MTA Universal, you know, get in contact with you, or was that the lady?
I don't remember her name, but the man that came along with her was the top A&R guy named Bruce Dickinson. Same name as the singer of Iron Maiden.
Right, yeah.
And I want to say that our manager got in touch with them.
Right.
I want to say he got in touch with them. And, you know, it's really cool to live in a city where all the record companies are all in one building.
Yeah, definitely.
Which was 666 Broadway, which I think the Trump Towers is in, or was in. Yeah.
So the first album came out in 1990. Tell me a little bit about you know, the studio work and atmosphere in the studio recording that album.
Oh, first of all, it was a dream come true to be in the same place that Aerosmith and John Lennon and Alice Cooper and the Who. They recorded Who's Next there. To just walk down the aisles on our way to the recording room and see all those gold and platinum records on the wall.
Right.
That place has such a legacy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and we were the last band to record there, so it was very, very cool to be a part of that and say we recorded it there. Yeah, I think the engineer that we used, who did a lot of Aerosmith's name, was Rod O'Brien.
Right.
He was really good. He was funny. You know, none of us, aside from Paul had a little more recording studio experience. We were starstruck the whole time. I remember the engineer, Rod O'Brien, I would ask him to tell me stories about all these bands, and he would just sit there and go, look at me right now, and go, okay, we're recording your record now. Let's focus on your performance right now.
Right, yeah.
And that was funny, yeah.
Wow.
So that was all very exciting, because we would pinch ourselves saying, God, we're doing what we've been saying we're going to do for a long time, and we're doing it. It was exciting. It was exciting.
And tell me a little bit about the first Spread Eagle tour.
Oh, that was great. That was great. We had a bus. Let's see. The funny thing was, our first gig was Oregon. So imagine driving from New York to Oregon just to get to your first gig.
Right, yeah. Wow.
Right. And I have to admit, we did stop on a few places along the way. Like, we would take the record in to a strip joint and ask them to play it and watch people dance to Hot Sex and stuff. That was fun. Take a test ride. I mean, I just friended on Facebook. I just friended our first bus driver. He just got in touch with me. His name is Cooch. That was funny. It's funny, you know. Ever since my wife passed away in April, now I'm online, and everybody is coming out of the woodworks, and they're just saying, we missed you. We didn't know where you were. Right. And it's just incredible. I've got people coming out of the woodwork just saying hi, asking me if I'll play with them. Wow. And everything. So I can't tell you how much fun I'm having right now. It's too bad somebody had to die in order for me to have fun. Right, but yeah. I am having, this is like a renewal, a rebirth for me right now with my art and my music. Wow. So.
It's hard to believe because you kind of like disappeared from the earth for like a long time. You know, I tried to get in contact with you. One person said they know you. You're a hermit. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like a total recluse or something.
Yeah.
Because what else would say that? Why else would I disappear?
Right.
Yeah, and it's funny because I have a girlfriend now. She's the love of my life, and she told me that she's been seeking me out all these years, and she heard that I was playing classical music in Tanglewood with some orchestra.
Right.
and I told her, I said, you know what? That's great that people would believe that.
Right.
But it's not true.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, I heard all kinds of rumors, and like, you know, you're living out in the woods now, and
yeah.
You know, and you know.
Well, it does develop. It does give me time to develop my paintings and stuff. But no. You know what it was? I was in a relationship that was just so in its own bubble that there was no online communication with the outside world, and that's all that was. Yeah. That's all that was. And that's a phase of my life, a chapter that's come and gone.
Right. Yeah. Did you miss the limelight and stuff, and you know, being out there?
Yeah. Oh, I definitely did. And not too. I don't know. Sometime in the fall, I played a few shows with some friends.
Right.
And in front of a bunch of people who were there. A number of them were there to see me, and I got to tell you, it was a rush.
Yeah.
It was a rush, and I didn't feel anything. The whole time I was playing, and when it was over, I'm sitting there all covered in sweat and stuff, and I'm going, that's it? Oh, we're done?
Right, yeah. I understand that, yeah.
So I totally missed it. I missed the rush of it all. For me, it's not just music, I'll admit. It's the excitement of doing something that you're good at and getting a positive response from other people. Yeah. So, and right now, I'm testing the waters to put together a Keith Moon era Who tribute band.
Right, yeah.
I've seen a lot of them out there online, and honestly, they sound a little like them. They don't look anything like them, and I could do a head spinning Keith Moon impersonation that will just put everybody else. We'll just empty out everybody else's clubs. So yeah. So I'm in the middle of talking to a guy right now. Actually, I'm talking to Chris, who used to be the lead singer of The Tears, a popular Boston band, and he can do a Roger Daltrey like nobody.
Wow.
So I've right now I've got a Roger Daltrey, and we're taking it from there.
Cool.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the second album, Open to the Public, in 93.
That was, if I'm not mistaken, and if I am, please forgive me, a conscious effort to be a bit more accessible.
Right.
I think that's what the name really says. We're open. I played on the demos, but I didn't play on the record because, along with the accessibility, they also wanted something. They wanted rhythm tracks that were a little bit more radio friendly.
Right.
So they got some people out there, like the guy from Billy Idol, Tommy Price, and John Macaluso, who's in TNT and did play in Spread Eagle for a while. He's a severely accomplished technician on the drums.
Right.
And so that's a little more sophisticated sounding record. And a lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people who like it. So that's good. I mean, I favor the first record, but I'm a little biased.
Right.
Yeah. So I like that second record.
So what's the biggest thing you miss about being in Spread Eagle?
The attention. And it's funny because I'm still that drummer, and I've played with a few people who asked me if I could play softer.
Right.
And I tell them I said I can't. because when you play softer, you sound different.
Right, yeah.
When I was making that first record, I got tendinitis because they wanted everything really hard, really solid, and everything, and that's what I became.
Right, yeah.
I became that guy who plays too loud.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm not going to change at this. I'm not going to change horses in midstream. That's my sound. That's who I am.
Right, yeah.
You know. So that's.
How's your relationship with the band right now?
It's really good.
Yeah, I figured that.
It's in fact, I had a talk with Salvador Poe the other night.
Right.
And he told me we were talking about old times, and he was just saying I'd love to get together with you sometime and play music. And I told him because I don't know if you're familiar, but his whole thing right now is liberation.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
And I told him let's call the band Spread Liberation, and he loved it.
What do you think of that idea?
Oh, he loved it. I've got it on my messenger. It's amazing. And him and I both have one thing in common. I'm not a teacher, but over the last 4 or 5 years, I've got into meditation and Zen Buddhism and he's into meditation and stuff too. So we have more than we could talk about than just the old days and stuff. We can talk about the now. Yeah. And to get back to your question, I communicate with Ray and Rob, and occasionally I share a laugh with Rick. I share a laugh or two with Rick on Facebook, and I know that he's seen one of my musical performances and gave it a like, which was kind of neat. And is it Viv? Is that his name?
Yeah, I think
something like that. He's very nice.
Yeah.
He's very nice. I think we texted back and forth one time and said that we're going to have a beer.
Cool.
So that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah. Wow.
Get together. Yeah. So and I heard an advanced copy of a couple of the songs, and I liked it. I thought it was good and heavy.
Yeah. Anything
the new stuff.
Anything like the original Spread Eagle?
No, it doesn't sound like the original Spread Eagle because everybody's instruments sound different now. Ray's singing a different register, and so which brings on a different vibe. He's actually, this is just my point of view. He sounds a little bit more like Phil Lynott. Is that how you say it, Lynott?
Yeah.
Or Lynott, or something like that. Yeah, close enough. He actually kind of reminded me of him now, because the register he's singing in now. But to get back, when I was playing it, I was talking to my girlfriend. I said, I got to admit, it sounds heavy and it sounds good. So I liked it. I need more time to digest it because, in my opinion, it's a little more complex than the stuff that we did with Paul. It's a little trickier.
Yeah, you definitely have to listen to it a couple of times. It's like, I get people who send me, CDs for review all the time, and I just get it in my hands, and they said, how do you like it? I got to listen to it 5-10 times before I can make a decision.
Yeah, right.
You just can't jump to it.
You can't, and there are some bands out there that write very simple, and you get it right away, like AC/DC, Stones, Ramones, and all that.
Yeah.
But that's not for everybody. Some people like their music a little complex.
Right. Yeah.
Like when I was a kid learning to play the drums, I could not like Rush because they didn't appeal to the underachiever in me.
Yeah.
I wanted something. I was saying if they could just stay on that one riff for another 20 seconds, it would be awesome. But that's not Rush.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
I think Rush is really fascinated with the things that they can do, and who doesn't like it when they're doing something really good.
Right.
So,
tell me a little bit about your artwork.
My artwork is I guess what you could categorize it as an expressionism.
Right.
There's always like a little story to my paintings, and they're very colorful, and I guess 90% of my paintings are kind of like self-deprecating self-portraits.
Right. Yeah.
It's easy to do a self-portrait because the model is free.
Right. Yeah.
All you need is a mirror. But a lot of my stuff is just a humorous look at my life. I have one that I did not too long ago. In fact, I think you might have seen it when I posted it. It was a Spread Eagle picture based on the words to Broken City.
Yeah, I wanted that. Yeah. You remember I told you I said I wanted
that?
Yeah,
that's right, right. And what I've got in there, and it goes along with what I was saying with the whole self-deprecating thing, is it's got an eagle coming down about to tear me out of the drum stool.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that was good. I like that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Very cool.
Right, and there's rats ripping through the trash and stuff.
Yeah. That was very good. Yeah.
Thank you. So a lot of my paintings a lot of my self paintings are like little self-portraits. It's kind of have a humorous look at life.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you decide what to paint, and how long does, say that one that I like, how long does that take to paint?
So, on some days I could do a painting in one full day. If I'm really clear and I have nothing and I have nobody knocking at the door, I have no bills to pay, I could stay with that, yes. And then there are other times I'll just revisit it and I'll spend a half an hour each day on it.
Right, yeah.
So honestly, that one's not done yet because it seems like 2 days get into it and then I have an idea for another day.
Right, yeah.
So some of my paintings are never finished. I heard one artist say one time that it's finished when you say it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I suppose that could be the same for music, too, if you're recording in the studio.
Right, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So what does the future hold for you right now?
The future holds for me getting married.
Uh-huh.
That's my number one focus. I have a beautiful girlfriend who I once knew back in the 1980s,
Right.
whose spouse died within 2 months of my spouse dying. And
Wow.
next thing you know, we're dating, and next thing you know, we're just sitting there going, this is fate.
Wow.
This is fate that this has happened with us.
Right, yeah.
So we've been together since August, and we're living together now, and now we're taking our time. We got really excited and decided we wanted to get married in August, but we just sat back and just did some numbers, and we said, you know what? Let's wait a little while and get a little more money.
Right, yeah.
And that's what we're doing.
Right.
Yeah. But her name is Kathy, and she's beautiful. She's the love of my life.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So if Spread Eagle came to town and they were playing live, would you go see them?
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Right.
And I think if I recall, I think they said something about me being on the guest list. If you imagine that.
I think we go on the guest list, maybe. Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you. That would be a thrill.
Yeah.
I'd probably be jumping out of my skin.
Wow.
So, you know, I mean, I was passionate about that band, but what happened was after a while, the tension's going to rise over a amount of time, and it's in relationship with other people.
Right.
And sometimes you start to develop mixed feelings.
Right. Yeah.
And I guess I was just crazy enough to quit.
Wow. Yeah, but everybody goes in different directions. Look at Salvador. You know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I you know what? I like him a lot better now that I'm not with him. and let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story so I don't confuse the listener.
Okay.
I want to give them a clear idea that I love those guys. And that is, not about a couple of months ago, Paul sent me a gift, GIF, a picture,
right,
of the instructor from the movie Whiplash.
Right, yeah.
Totally destroying Animal from the Muppets on the drum set.
Right.
And he was yelling at the Animal character, and the Animal was exhausted, gasping his breath, and I said to him, I said, you know, you know, Sal, I know, it comes out all the time, I can't help it. I said to him, I said, who is that guy? I recognize that bald guy. And he's going, you don't know what that is? I said, no. He goes, you haven't seen Whiplash? I said, no. He goes, you have to see it. He goes, you thought I was bad. Wait till you see the teacher and the instructor in this movie. And I just said to him, I said, there are plenty worse than you.
Right, yeah.
You know, wow. And that was really nice. And then I saw the movie, and next thing you know, the next morning, I post on Facebook, just saw Whiplash for the first time. Yikes. And who gets the first like? Salvador Paul. So him and I like the relationship I have with him now. We're a little older, and we're out of that. Well, I'm actually still playing.
Right.
He liked another thing of me playing. I did a thing with a friend of mine. We did Tie Your Mother Down, where I was doing the singing and the playing at the same time. And I have fun with that. So I have just enough coordination where I can do them both and not screw them up.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So and he liked that. So sometimes I got to pinch myself when I think about all the good that's in my life right now.
Right. Yeah.
And then let's just talk about what's happening this very second. You know.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I've got Brian Rademacher calling me up for an interview. That's incredible. That's not something you take for granted. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I've been trying to track you down. So finally
thank you.
You resurfaced, and I know the good times we had back in the '90s at the studio in New York City when I did photos for you guys, and I just look back at that time and I'm saying, holy shit, this is amazing. You know?
Yeah, it's amazing that it's you too. It'd be so much. It'd probably be a lot different if it was somebody else.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. This is fun. Yeah.
It's amazing. I wish you the best. You're a great guy. Always thinking about
thank
you, and you know, congratulations on your future wedding. And,
Yeah.
I hope I hear some original music from you too.
Oh yeah, that's right. John Williams from Iron Rage, my old friend. Him and I have already talked. We're going to write a song together.
Cool.
And record it.
Very
And it's going to be where I'm at these days right now. And it will be, the lyrical content will be a reflection of where I'm at.
Right. Yeah.
And that's cool. Yeah.
Okay, man. I had some great times with you, and Spread Eagle is still kicking, and
That's so cool.
I don't know if it'll replace the original songs and stuff like that, which were blown out of the water by, I mean, thousands of fans still love you guys. And,
Big time.
You know, so congratulations. Would you like to send anything to the fans out there?
Yes. Are we there?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I heard a beat, so
No,
that
go ahead.
threw me off.
Nope.
I'm easily distracted by beats. The fans out there who love the first record, you know what? I love the first record too, so I'm with you guys. Those songs are so catchy, but I'd like to say to all the people that supported the band, thank you very much, and I love you guys. It's such a good feeling to know that I'm part of that.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So,
And that's an adrenaline rush. when you're listening to Broken City speed up,
right.
I remember reading reviews going, they cleverly speed it up a notch to the point where it's like a Triumph song from back in the day, and it builds and builds, and I'm sitting there going, well, I'm glad you see it that way, but that was an adrenaline rush.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing. You know.
Yeah. So what you hear with a slow speed up there is me getting excited. So yeah, I'm so happy to be a part of that record, because you know what? It wasn't that long ago that I went to a record store and they had a CD burner in there.
Right. Yeah.
And I dialed up the first record and I got in my car and cranked it up and I got the chills.
Wow.
I still get the chills when I hear that stuff because it's so catchy.
Yeah.
You know. And it's a part of me.
Right. Yeah. Okay, man.
So.
You know, I appreciate you giving me a chance and finally getting together. So,
Brian, thank you so much.
No problem. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.